Arm yourself because no one else here will save you. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. With special guest, Misty Gaynair. First time. Woo!
Yeah.
This is the podcast where all three of us went and saw a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater, and now we're going to talk about it. In Matt's Time to Pilot, right next to the theater, we're going to talk about such things as: should you see this movie? Should you not see this movie? Should you wait for streaming? Can you take your family? Should you take a date? Should you go by yourself? Can you sleep or nap or slack off? Or do you need to absolutely pay attention to get all the intricacies of the movie? We try to touch on some of that, all of that, none of that, but we try our best. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. And yes, welcome. We're here. We're going to talk about movie. We saw a movie. The movie is called Black Bag. And normally our friend Tim is with us, and he would tell us all about who's in it. But he's not here. He's in Florida, sunny Florida. Hopefully it's sunny. I don't really know.
Spring training.
Yeah, spring training for the Orioles. Tim, when you hear this, I wore a Baltimore Orioles t-shirt tonight in honor of you. Well, anyway.
You're such a good friend.
Yes, I know. So yeah, we saw this movie called Black Bag, and there's at least three people in it that I know. Well, there's three people in it that I know. Famous people. One of them is Michael Fassbender. Mm-hmm. One of them is Cate Blanchett. Mm-hmm. And one of them is called Pierce Brosnan. Did I miss anyone?
I would say no, except for the director-writer, Steven Soderbergh. Is
right.
Pretty famous.
That's true. Misty, did you pick anyone else out?
Bridgerton was just...
Bridgerton was in the house?
In the house.
You're like Tim. You just let anyone through the celebrity gates.
Nice. Well, so there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people in the movie, period. But there's not a lot of super famous people.
Sure. Plenty of extras, but that's it.
Plenty of extras.
Only about 6 or 7 major players.
All right. So what is this movie about? Well, there's a lot of twisty turns in this movie, but basically we are invited into the world of spies, and there's a married couple. Played by Fassbender and Blanchett, and they're both spies that work at a spy place in England. And
I'm assuming it was MI6.
Could be.
Like,
they never really said.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's plenty of secret spy agencies out there, but
yeah,
that's the only one that I know about in the UK.
Fair enough. Well, so we know it's in England. We don't really know what agency the spies are spies at. But so we've got this married couple. We've got 3 or 4 other people that they know. The movie starts. Someone tells our main guy, hey, there's some kind of mole. It's one of your friends that you might know. It might be your wife, and figure it out. So he goes to work and he's trying to figure out what's going on. There are many plans laid, many false leads played out, and at the end we find out everything is unraveled for us in grand fashion, and we find out what happens. So without revealing what exactly happens, it's a spy thriller. There's plots and such.
Gotta watch out for those twisty turns.
You gotta watch out for the twisty turns. So, Todd, without revealing any twisty turns, what are your thoughts on Black Bag?
I think I'm gonna land on that I like this movie, but I'll point out some stuff that were some negatives first, and then I'll end on the positives.
Fair.
I would say this movie is pretty slow. And there are some kind of intense moments, but there were times where I was just like, I just want to know the reveal. There wasn't... Typically in these type of movies, there are some more action type things that happen at times to kind of break up the kind of what's going on, and there really wasn't any of that in this movie. And maybe that's just because we need it and we're desensitized and all that kind of stuff. But I just felt like, as much as I thought the acting was good, and I think Steven Soderbergh can write a script for sure, but all of his movies are very similar, and while I did I am going to land on enjoying this. I just really feel like I was bored at times. Like, I'll just say it. I'll use the B word. I was bored at times. Not all the times, and it wasn't a whole lot, but I just felt like you weren't given... And I don't like suspense thrillers, mysteries, where you're not given enough information to put it together yourself. Like, this one is like one of those things, like any other movie he's really done. Like, I'm pretty sure he did the Ocean's movies. These are all like these. Like, where it's like, we're following one story, then we're told another story's going on, and then here's the end where it's like, oh, well, here's the reveal, which you could have never got there on your own because it involved a ton of stuff that we didn't show you. Maybe some people like that. I prefer the ability to get there myself if I can. Like, it's like a little game to me. Like,
you want to solve the mystery.
I want to solve the mystery. Like, and if I'm not given enough information where I feel like you have a fair shot at that, it irks me a little bit. Like, but on the reverse side, I thought this movie was, I thought the script was good. At times I was like, man, these scenes are really wordy. Like, we are just spouting out words that sound smart right now. Like, but I thought the acting was pretty good. I don't think there's like an Oscar-worthy performance in this, but everyone did the part that they were supposed to do. I'm a big fan of the stars who are in this movie. Like, I like Michael Fassbender, and I like Cate Blanchett. I even like Pierce Brosnan. I think he was a very underrated James Bond.
He's just getting started.
Sure, yeah. He'll return to it. He'll come back. So, yeah, I mean, I would say if you liked West Wing or the Ocean movies or any of the other things that Steven Soderbergh has done, then this falls suit. It is very much a Steven Soderbergh movie. It has all the aspects that you would expect from a movie of his. So if it's up to your alley and you liked all those other movies, and you're like, I need to get back in that world, then this one's just absolutely for you. Come on out. I am going to land on, I think this is a movie worth seeing. I thought set design was very cool. At times, like, we saw, the interior of a house, which was just, like, fascinating to me every time they showed the interior of the house, where I was like, man, this is a nice house. I'm in. Like, and I do think there was, what I like is that the characters balance the movie, I thought. There's a little bit of everything in every character. Like, and so it really, when you're dealing with the group as a whole, I thought the group was very well balanced for good, entertaining scenes. The personalities of the characters, I thought, all kind of came to play. And, I'm going to land on go see this. You want to go see a movie? I don't think really anything better came out this week. I mean, maybe Novocaine, if that's something you want to go see. But I'm going to land on, I thought this was a better than average movie. One might say good, but it's somewhere in there for me, is where I'm going to land. And I will stop prattling on. Misty?
Yeah, I think, like, maybe if you want to disassociate a little bit and, like, get away from your own life, I could see this being, like, a good movie to choose for that. I did agree, though. I thought it was a little bit like a mental tease, which, there were moments that really aligns. But at the same time, I think it's worth going to see it because of the sound quality and the music choice within the movie. I think it's worth the sound and, like, hearing it and seeing it kind of with a smooth storytelling. I thought that compared to, like, some of the other movies he's done, like, it wasn't as junky, like in terms of, like, these hard stops, where you, like, I think have that moment to think about, like, okay, well, who could have, or where is this possibly going? It was a lot smoother, and though it was, like, slower discourse, I think it was a lot to constantly be thinking about.
All right.
So, I mean, I go see it again.
Okay.
You'd go see it again. In theaters, you'd go see it again, or?
Maybe.
Huh.
Stream it. Watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
Matt?
Okay. Well, similar to you, Todd, I really did feel a little bored at times. I liked the story. I was into the story, but I felt like they did too much at different points of like sort of expanding. Like it could have been a little tighter. It was not a long movie, but it could have been a little tighter story wise. There were some long fishing scenes and some other things that just kind of didn't need to be there.
In the beginning of the movie, there's a point where he enters the work, and you see almost every floor he walks through to get to his final destination, and I was like, not necessary.
Right.
I get it. He's in a place of spy agency. Like, we did not need to see every single room for him to walk through.
Yeah. I did like the spy stuff that they had. Like, I thought it was kind of neat, kind of how they hooked into, like, what I assume is real-world spy stuff. We did get a polygraph, or actually a few polygraphs, sort of shot simultaneously. And
I enjoyed that scene because if you've ever had a polygraph, I feel like that was a pretty good representation of a polygraph.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only had one in my life, but it felt like that.
Right. So cool spy stuff, good story. I did think it was the scenes were a little word heavy. And I thought that, I like this movie. My overall feeling about it is positive. I came out of it feeling positive, although there were times where I was just like, kind of like, what?
Pitter patter. What's going on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So anyway, I would say, see it. Sure. If you like spy thriller, it was more of a mystery than a thriller. I would say.
I would say thriller is probably the wrong word.
Right.
At no point was I really like on the edge of my seat like thriller.
You weren't thrilled.
I did keep thinking of like the most recent seasons of Traitors and how like none of them would have survived. Probably the walk up the stairs. So, that's a whole thing. But
if you don't know, Traitors is a show where they play the game Mafia.
Got it.
In a house.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you're trying to find the villain.
Yeah, you're trying to find the Mafia person.
And typically other countries will use like normal people, but America likes to pick reality folks. And if you know the folks who are on this season, it's definitely a complete failure when you compare it to something like this movie. But so are we ranking this one on?
Whoa! Don't skip ahead here. Don't skip ahead.
There will be a ranking scale.
Yeah. It'll be explained.
Yeah.
All right, getting down to the rating system. One. How many movie stubs would you give this? Ticket stubs. That's probably what I'm looking for.
Tickets. Oh, yes.
Ticket stub, which comes into play heavily in the beginning of the movie.
It does.
0 being the worst because then you didn't see any movies, and what are you doing? And 5 being the best because then you saw 5 movies, and you're probably on par with the amount of movies we see.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of movies.
We do see quite a few. Yeah.
So, Matt?
Well, I'm going to go with 3 ticket stubs out of 5. I do think this was above average in certain categories. Like I said, it dragged a little bit at points, but well enough did I like it that I will give it an above average rating of 3 out of 5.
Fair. Misty?
I think I agree with 3.
Okay.
3's all around so far. I'm at a 2.8.
Oh, Mr. Different Guy.
It was tempting to say 3, but that would just be a lie, and I can't do that. The integrity of our podcast is too important to me.
Fair enough.
I think that for it to be it was close to being a banger, I feel, but just the slowness of it really kind of is a huge negative to me. It's hard to get over. Like, and that's saying something for an hour and a half movie. It was only an hour and 34 minutes.
Right.
Which,
so just a bang, not a banger.
Yeah. Which,
do you think you would have liked some of those flashbacks that were toward the end kind of scattered further, closer to the beginning of the movie?
Probably not. Because the flashbacks kind of landed the plane of the movie. Landed, like that was, how we got to the resolution of the movie. So I don't know. I just really, I mean, because I pride myself on being able to, really see foreshadowing and I'm a good movie detective, I feel. And I don't like it when I don't have a shot. You got to give me a shot. You got to give me a chance. If you're one of those movies like this one where at the end you're revealing all this stuff that you never saw to begin with and stuff like that, it's like, you know, so.
Okay. Well, any last thoughts?
Michael Fassbender is really intimidating to me when he just plays a straight on, like, serious dude.
He has that. He has some gravitas.
Yeah.
He does. All right.
I don't think it's true, but the entire movie, I really thought, is a sociopath the one that just doesn't feel emotions? Like, is that a sociopath?
I believe it's antisocial personality disorder.
Okay. Something, whatever you just said. Like, I thought that was going to be the basis of his character, because it just, like, at all times, I felt like he was, there were a couple times where emotions were showing, but he was like I thought he just couldn't experience emotions. Like, that was going to be his big secret, where they're like, how do you stay so even keel? Like, well, you know.
I never have emotions.
Yeah, I don't feel anything. I'm dead inside. So.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we reviewed the movie Black Bag, and we gave it an average rating of 2.93333333 ticket stubs out of 5. Which is, that's pretty good. That's above average. So in general, the three of us would say, go watch this movie. Have a good time. You might be a little bored, but have a good time anyway. And speaking of having a good time, keep listening to our podcast, because it's a good time. Download it, subscribe, listen, all the things.
We got our first, comment. Did you see that? Someone, not our first comment, but
we did get a comment.
Someone added in a rating to one of the movies we did. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up real quick, because I would just like to shout out that person real quick. All right, here we go. Now, how do I get to that?
You will never get there. You will find it.
Here he is. All right, Adam Tefano. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong.
It's Tefano.
Okay.
I know Adam.
Oh, you know Adam? Okay. He gave Monkey 5 bowling balls.
He did.
Oh my gosh.
That's a stellar rating for that.
Yeah.
For that movie.
Thank you for participating. Your rating is wrong, but
continue to share it.
We love that you shared it, and we love that you used a good rating system as we do. So.
Well, he used the same rating system we did.
Did we use bowling balls?
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
Because the last death of that movie is
that's right.
Heavily bowling ball.
Heavy on the bowling balls. Well, anyway, thank you, Adam Tefano, and thank you all other listeners. And we will see you next time.
Da 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 da
da da
da da da
da da da.